Listen to the farm equipment engine hum. Good morning, everybody. I am, apparently there's a parade today through Fairfield and Carroll Valley, and I'm in it behind a farm vehicle. You know, that's one of the beauties of living out in the sticks is sometimes you get stuck behind a farm vehicle that does not go the speed limit, can't go the speed limit, and you're kind of stuck until they get off the road. And I wish I was broadcasting just a minute ago, because there was this douche behind me in a one of those small wiener pickup trucks, you know, like souped up. Sounds like a jet engine. And I could tell when, you know, I got on the road, and then he comes from half a mile away very quickly and starts tailgating me, and then I get stuck behind the farm vehicle here, and I'm driving through a spot where I get no cell service, so I couldn't be broadcasting. And I was so pissed because he pulled the douchiest move. There were two other cars in between me and the tractor ahead, and he on a double yellow line on a curve started to pass all five of us. And coming in the opposite direction was another pickup truck. And I was like, oh, good. We're going to see something here. Hopefully the douche passing just runs off the road into a ditch or something. But instead, no, he forces himself in between the tractor and the car behind the tractor, not the guy in front of me. It was one more car ahead of him. With like no warning, like almost ran that guy off the road, and narrowly missed going head on into the other pickup truck coming in the opposite direction. I didn't want to see the other pickup truck get hurt because they were doing the right thing, but I did want to see the douche go off into the road, not run someone off the road. And unfortunately, he survived unscathed. But I can't stand that. Cannot stand that behavior. How you all doing this morning? Let's see. Valerie, hello. 60-second. Hola. 6 questions. Good morning. Dustin, hi there. Gunter Monke, been waiting for this since 7 a.m. Yeah. Well, we're not going into CWI today, so we didn't start as early. I didn't mean to make you think that we were turning over a new leaf. Good morning, Barbara. Eric W., good morning. Estella, how are you doing, Estella? And Calvin, where is it? Good morning, man. I'm hauling cattle this morning. Great day for Michigan Drive. That sounds like fun. I actually drove cattle once out in Wyoming. We were in college. We wanted to do the City Slickers experience, you know, where you go on a full-on cattle drive. But it was like $1,200 a person plus airfare and all that. We were in college. We didn't have that. So we found a cheaper option where you just basically get they call it like the hunter's cabin. It's a hunter's cabin. And it's very rustic, no electricity, no running water, had a shit in an outhouse, the whole thing. And it was the coolest experience of my life. And you can hire a guide for like $100 a day. So I was like, well, I've got a good sense of direction. We'll just hire the guide for one day until we familiarize ourselves with the area, and then we'll go out on our own. Well, I'd never put that into practice on the plains, and so I quickly realized that Guide Schmide we were easily going to get lost. So we got the guide for a day, and he was our age, so we had a good time just goofing around with him on horses and everything, and got along really well with him. And we're like, unfortunately, we didn't bring enough money to get you another day. We'd love to, just so we can hang out. So he went back to the owners, and he's like, hey, those two idiots from college out east, I didn't bring enough money to hire me, but they said they wanted to hire me. And so the owners drove out. We were 7 miles. This is the thing that just blew my mind. The amount of land available out there. We were on their property. It was some 65,000 acres that they had, but we were 7 miles from the main headquarters of the ranch. So they drove the truck out. They didn't take the horses. And they came out at like dinner time and they said, I understand Mike tells us that you guys didn't bring enough money to hire him, but you wanted to have him another day. How about this? We'll have Mike come out and get you early in the morning. You ride your horses in, and we will and you'll help us inoculate the herd, and then we'll give you hot showers and a hot meal for dinner. And we were like, sign us up, because by that point we had a quote unquote solar heated shower, which was a metal 55-gallon drum with a shower head stuck in the bottom of it, painted black. And we went in June, but the whole week prior to our getting there was snowing. So there was no soul to solar heat the water. And as soon as we got there, I wanted to get the plane off of me, and being so close with the general public, and so I go out to take a shower, and there were some pretty good winds, and it was this like stall that didn't go all the way down to the ground, and no roof built out there, and the door was just a shower curtain liner, and it was the windward side of the structure, and so the wind is blowing the shower curtain right in my ass, and I pull on the shower head to open it up, and cold water comes out. But now I'm committed. I'm wet. I got to get this done, so I'm taking the shivering shower with 30-mile-an-hour winds blowing the stupid thing right up my butt, and whatever. But that's not the point of the story. Point of the story is the next morning, Mike comes out, and we get up, we saddle the horses, we ride the 7 miles into the main headquarters, and as we approach, coming from another pass in the hills, is the herd. And so we intercept it and get to join it and help bring the herd in. And so, like quick little couple pointers on how to drive the cattle. And it's pretty easy. It's kind of, intuitive. And the horses kind of just do all the work. But it was a lot of fun. It was very cool. And then we got to help them inoculate the cows, which entailed, they feed them into this pen. Maybe there's 4 or 5 of them in a pen, and there's Matt standing there with a broom to tap them on the buttocks to get them to go into this 1 cow at a time alleyway. And that feeds them through. Then they come up to the end, they're stopped, they're inoculated, and then they move on. And my friend Pete had the job of sliding a bar behind them so they can't back out when they get into that little spot where they trap them. And of course, they're scared. And what do you do when you're scared? You shit yourself. And so Pete, I got to find these pictures. We got pictures of Pete with his hands covered in cow shit because they shit all over this bar, and there was no way to avoid it. But it was an adventure. I got charged by one of the cow who did not want to get in, or she was the last one in line, and she did not want to get in to the alleyway. And I'm like tapping her on the ass, trying to get her to go. And she turns around and looks at me, and she's like, no. And she shoulder checks me and throws me back into the fence. And being the agile athlete that I am, I saw it coming, and I knew what was going to happen, so I anticipated it and used the power of her thrusting me to further thrust myself up onto the fence and narrowly avoid being crushed to death. And but God, when you're 21, you don't realize the danger, and it's just fun, you know. So that was a great time. Why did I bring that up? I forget why I brought that up, but whatever. Oh, cattle. Yeah, you were hauling cattle. Yeah. It's man, that was so much fun. And we said for the next, let's see, how old am I now? Oh God. For the next too many years that I don't want to think of, we 27 years. We kept saying we got to go back out to Wyoming before we end up getting married and having kids. And then Pete got married and had kids. And then it was, we got to go back to Wyoming before we get too old. And now I got a bad back and I don't know. And we don't have time now. So jump on it while you got the youth, folks. If you're young. I doubt there's any young people that listen to this, but you know, if you're young, youth is wasted on the young, they say, and it's true. Strike while the iron's hot. Go, do what you want to do, because soon life gets in the way. All right, so let's see. People have no idea how to drive around farm equipment. Dude, first of all, I never try to get around them. You know, like, they have the right out here. They have the right to be on the road just like we do. If they are able to, oftentimes they'll pull over to the side and give us room to pass on a double yellow line so that we don't have to go into the other lane of traffic. But that's not always possible on these roads. So, you know, you live out in farm country, you learn to live with it. And I don't bother passing. I wait until they get out of the way. They're usually only going a mile or two at the most. Like, they're not going all the way into Gettysburg. So I know they're going to get out of my way sooner or later. Flying Flynn Media says, good morning from Portage. Good morning. Tori, good morning. Phil, good morning. Tori says, dude, my AC isn't working. Needs a recharge. That is not ideal. Stella says, I am waiting to hear from the hospital for what time I need to be at the hospital tomorrow for surgery. Oh, you don't even know what time yet? I hate that. I hate when they tell you like the day before, but I guess they have to wait that long, right? But God, that's so agonizing. Well, Stella, I've been praying for you, and I'm glad you're going to get that all taken care of. And good luck to you. And we'll see you on the other side of the surgery, where you will be on the road to recovery. Dana says, may all mankind be kept away from shirk. All humans are obliged to worship the one and only Jesus. Okay, there you go. Stella says, thank you for your prayers. I'm feeling fine, but I will know more tomorrow. The anxiety is so real. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. Eric says, body cell service in the Smoky Mountains today, only catching a few words at a time. You're not missing much. Is Matt giving a synopsis of the movie City Slickers? Basically. Porter Alexander says, too late. I took a career at 21 that I hate but pays well. I'm 28 now. Too late to switch. It is not too late to switch. It is never too late to switch. There's always a way to do it if you have the will to do it. Just think and look around you and you will find it. If you don't like it, get out. I'm glad that I never fell into that it pays well trap, because I probably would have gone through with what I was contemplating at the end of my 30s, and I wasn't in that situation, so I definitely would have been there because I would have been miserable. And I only know this because I do what I love now. And I was talking to somebody at CWI the other day. Who was I talking to? Oh, a listener. And he basically, let's see, I got 15 minutes till I got to meet Tad, so I'm gonna take the short. We're doing the short drive today. And we were just talking about everything and how he was asking like behind the scenes questions, like how much work we do and to get out stuff on the schedule we have, that type of shit. And I was telling him, answer the questions and stuff, and I said, like there are times where I'm just overwhelmed and I have nothing left in me to give, but I have to do something anyway, and I just feel like walking away from it all, like, and from everybody, just disappearing. And I'll come back, but I just need to disappear sometimes, and take a month away and just, And then I said, but the thing is, I love to do this. As exhausting as it is, sometimes I hate it, but I don't hate it. I just hate having so much to do. And then I think of when I couldn't find gainful employment to save my life, trying to make it in the real world. I didn't get it. I didn't get the real world. Like, it was too boring for me. And I felt like I couldn't, I always wanted to like contribute. I didn't want to just exist. I wanted to contribute to something in a way that, look, I'm at the age now, I don't have kids. Obviously, I'm not going to have any kids. So what do I leave behind? The only thing can be the work that I do. And so that stuff has always mattered to me. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know what else I'm going to do. Like, the thing is, like, if I stop doing this or it goes away because, like, just nobody cares anymore, I really I don't have a backup plan. I don't have my sights on something else. Come on, dude. God damn it. Putting your hazards on doesn't mean you could almost stop in the middle of an intersection on a yellow light. It's probably a guide, I know. It's a guide giving a tour. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, I love what I do, and I don't know what else I would do. And that's a very scary place to be, because there's no safety net. There is no backup plan. I don't even know if I would know where to start looking for something. Yeah, so you just got to go with what you got. But my point to you is 28 is not old. 7 years at one place is not a trap. 7 years is when people start getting the itch and they start looking elsewhere. So you're right on time to start finding something else, but don't rush it. Take a deep breath, sit back, relax, and realize the job you hate but pays well now, its days are numbered, and sooner or later the answer is going to present itself to you. And you'll be in the next phase of your life. And then you'll get sick of that in 7 years, or maybe sooner. Who knows? I was just having this conversation last night with Cindy about how, people nowadays, I mean, like, if they last 3 years at a job, that's a miracle. Let's see. Good morning, Tim. Motorcycles passing on the shoulder at high speeds is another thing that ticks me off, and I lean over a little when they do it. Yes, I do that too. I don't want them to run into me. I just want to give them pause. And I hate to say, I know we've got motorcycle riders and they have their reasons for doing that, but I'm not talking about the ones where you don't want to overheat or whatever. I'm talking about just the plain old assholes. And yeah, those are the ones that I don't want to bring harm to them, but I wouldn't be terribly upset if I saw someone accidentally like open a door or move over onto the dotted line unknowingly, and then I wouldn't be totally upset, because I just resent that I follow the rules and then somebody else doesn't. And of course, there's never a cop around. But then I do a minor infraction, and that's when the cop gets me. And then meanwhile, these people are putting themselves and other people at risk of bodily injury or death, and nobody's there to see it. Nobody's there to see it. That's the way life goes. Wundermonk says, you sound pretty energized for just dealing with CWI all weekend. I got to tell you, Dave, I've been feeling energized ever since the long winter let go and finally let the warm weather come in. It really is amazing what that does for my psyche. And also, I've lost 80 pounds and I don't feel sluggish. Although I got to tell you, we ate cafeteria food all weekend, and I miss just having a steak, or a piece of chicken or a salad or something, because I feel so sick. Stephen Taft, we were texting about it last night, the group of us, and Stephen says that he feels like his butt has been plugged up because it's just so much unhealthy food. And it really is, like, when you get used to eating well, it's very, you don't realize how sick you felt while you were eating this stuff on the daily, because you just get used to it. But then, oh man, I can't wait for it to get out of my system and to start, I skipped breakfast today. I had a shake. So I guess that's not really skipping breakfast, but I had a protein shake, and I'm probably going to skip lunch just to, stop putting stuff in me and let the poison get out, and then I'll start again. But yeah, it ain't easy. Oh, sorry, we're tilted there. But yeah, with CWI was good. CWI is always kind of a nice shot in the arm. Because we all get to kind of see each other. I met a shit ton of patrons and listeners this weekend, and had some nice conversations with them, which was very nice. I think this year it was the most number of patrons and listeners that I've met, and I really appreciate that. Meeting them, number one, but number two, a lot of them, I don't know about all of them, but a lot of them have said to me they never heard of CWI until they heard us talking about it on the show, and so obviously they're going because of listening to the show. So that makes me feel good, because CWI is winning because of something we did, and that is always nice. But I also really appreciate CWI continuing to let us go there. That was Pete who initially invited us, and it was always accommodating, and it's nice to see that the crew is carrying that on and still allowing us to do that, which is nice, because CWI is kind of a pillar of our year, and we look forward to it. And it's still going on, but we have a couple of interviews scheduled for the studio. So we tore everything down in our room yesterday, got about 5. I got to tell you something. And we'll talk about this on AG Today this week. I blew up twice. I have never blown up before with addressing Gettysburg, but I snapped at Tad and I snapped at Eric Houston, and I'll explain why on AG Today. But one of the things that was stressing me out, causing that, was memory. Not my memory. I already know that's pretty much gone. But storage space for the material we were recording. We filled up, let's see, what's it, 4 terabytes there. That's only half a terabyte on that one. So, and the other one is 2 terabytes. So 6.5 terabytes of video footage this weekend. And I recently, it hasn't arrived yet, but I had recently ordered 36 terabytes of footage, or of storage, thanks to a very generous donation to DH Pioneers. And that, I told the person who sent it, I said, this could not have come at a better time, because, and it was out of the blue, it wasn't solicited or anything. Like, he contacted me and, started asking about DHP, and I told him what it's for, and he's like, I'd like to make a donation. And he made a very nice donation, and that was immediately eaten up by memory, because it's so expensive. You hear all this talk now, ladies and gentlemen. You hear the talk. You see the protests. You hear, you read the op-eds, if you still read newspapers, about data centers. And so I noticed a couple months ago, what was once a $500 hard drive is now $1,000. $1,000 for 6 terabytes, 4 terabytes, whatever it was. And go ahead. You were here first. Go ahead. Somebody go. You go, lady. Yes, you were here first. Jesus loves me. Sorry. It's like, how do you get a driver's license? Like, do you not take okay, whatever. So that helped. And so now I have 36 terabytes. So what the plan is, because I have about 40 terabytes of hard drives that are full. Some of the things on those hard drives have yet to be edited and released. Others have, but I've got to make room. I can't keep buying these hard drives. So we're getting the big one, the 36, to move all of the released stuff over, to basically archive them. And then we'll have space on those old hard drives that we can continue to use for things. But I gotta tell you, it's making it so that, and the only reason why it's a problem is because I'm not one of these people who deletes things when they're done. I believe in having archives, because, at the very least, this is what I expect it for. I expect that one day this will all be a happy memory for me, and I'll want to listen to the archives. And I'll want to listen to not so much the finished shows, but the stuff that's recorded that gets cut out for the finished shows. The joking around before the show, the joking around during the break, the, frank conversations afterwards, or the continuation of the conversation that we had in the show. To me, that's actually the gold, because that's unguarded. That's where we're all just kind of speaking as if we're sitting at a bar or something. And so someday I know that this will all be over, and I'm going to want to go and look back on it and, relive some happy times. But my hope is that somebody younger who listens to the show will actually like it so much that when they get older, they get into maybe the history of doing the history, and they'll somehow be the inheritor of the archives, and will maybe do something with it that I can't imagine right now. So that's why I want to archive them. Also, while we're still doing it, you never know when you might need to or want to go back and take something that wasn't used and use it for something new, or to just kind of go in and re-edit something. Who knows? It's always good to have your archives. So that's why we don't just, finish it and then delete everything, because to me, that's valuable stuff. Not necessarily monetarily, but personally, All right, let me pull over here and catch up. You guys there?